Hi friends, today we're going to read chapter 7 of The Chocolate Touch. When we read chapter 6, we found out that John was trying to have Susan understand what was happening to him with the chocolate. She was jumping rope and she wasn't really wanting to be his friend. She was still mad at him about taking her silver coin. And John seems to be getting more upset about his magic that's happening to him. It's getting stronger. So today we're going to read chapter 7. Let's find out. All right, boys and girls, Miss Plimsoll said, it's almost time for lunch. Clear up your things. Paint pot securely closed, brushes washed, paintings unpinned and laid out to dry, drawing boards stacked against the wall. Ah, there's the bell. Front row first. Timmy leading, then Robin, and single file, go. John alone walked slowly to the throng, hurrying along the corridors to the school cafeteria. The school was proud of the cafeteria and the food served in it. The room was spacious and bright with windows all the way along one side, overlooking the playground and the playing fields beyond. The opposite side was wholly taken up by the shiny silver service counter. Several boys and girls were already settled at the tables by the time John took his place in the line. Enviously, John noticed a boy at a nearby table suck at straws dipped in milk that was dull with frost. John could imagine the refreshing taste of cold, creamy milk. At another table, a group of girls were eating fat red cherries. John could almost feel the firm fruit on his tongue and the pleasure of biting through the tart, juicy pulp. So I'm noticing two things. I'm remembering from the beginning of the story during breakfast when he didn't like to eat any kind of fruit or drink any kind of drink like milk, but now he's wanting those two things. He's wishing he had those. So I'm thinking that he's changing as the book is going on. I'm also noticing how the author is really painting a picture in my head about the setting. I'm hearing lots of describing words about what the cafeteria looked like. And I'm also getting a lot of good describing words about the food people are eating. So that's a really good strategy this author is giving us. The cherries must taste good. They must be thirst quenching. John unhappily took a tray from the pile and slid it along the rails in front of the top of the counter. He put a paper napkin, a glass, and a gleaming spoon, a knife, and a fork on the tray. It seemed hardly worth the while, but he felt like he might as well try the food and drink. Perhaps if I eat it a different way, without letting anything touch my lips. My lunch won't all change to chocolate. He was not very hopeful, though. What? Asked the boy standing next to him. Nothing, John said. I thought I heard you say something about chocolate, the boy said. I hope this is the day for chocolate cream pie, he added. That'd be super. On chocolate cream pie days of the past, John had been known to skip the main course so that he might spend all of his lunch money on dessert. He thought of 4 pieces of chocolate cream pie now suddenly made his stomach feel as though he was on a roller coaster, an uneasy, flipperty-gibbery sensation. John shuddered. Ugh, he commented, wrinkling up his nose. The other boy shrugged his shoulders and started to choose his meal. So where he used to spend all his money on dessert, now he doesn't even want chocolate anymore. He doesn't even hope that they have that for dessert. John took a plate of cold chicken and ham, potato chips, and a crisp, moist lettuce and tomato salad. The white of the chicken, the pink of the ham, the gold of the potatoes, the pale green of the lettuce, and the red of the tomato looked delicious. He also took a half pint of milk, a thick-crusted whole wheat roll, and a cool pat of butter, a tumbler of water with ice cubes clinking against the glass, and a dish of fresh fruit, slices of oranges and grapefruit and bananas and grapes. John's tray was loaded with just the sort of meal his mother was always trying to persuade him to eat. Until today, John had always thought it was pretty dull to eat sensible things, when there was sweeter food and drink to be had. Today, however, the sensible things looked most appetizing, and his mouth began to water in its new sticky way. John paid for the lunch with his money his mother had given him, went to an empty table and sat down. His fingers trembling slightly with eagerness, he cut a slice of lettuce. His fork went through the leaves with a promising crunch. He stuck the prongs of the fork into a mouse-sized piece of lettuce and carefully inserted it into his mouth. The lettuce didn't touch his lips. John's teeth came together in a crisp layer of sweet chocolate. He took a small piece of potato chip, tilted back his head until it was looking straight up at the ceiling, and dropped it straight down into his throat. He felt it go down, a sharp fragment of chocolate. He tried the milk, the ice water, the fruit. Every solid and liquid that he sampled was transformed as soon as it entered his mouth. So let me go back and show you the picture. So he tried to eat all of this food without it touching his lips in a different way to see if that would work. But it always came out like chocolate. Then he became aware of a shocking novelty that he hadn't noticed at breakfast. At the rim of each glass, there was a small semicircle of brown. The bowl of his spoon and the prongs of his fork had become brown. As John watched, horrified, the areas of magic slowly spread until at last the glasses and forks and spoons and knives were all solid chocolate. The trouble was unquestionably growing worse. John's scalp tightened with fear. So right here, it even tightened with fear. He was so worried. What am I going to do? He asked himself miserably. Oh dear, what is going to happen to me? Leaving his tray of chocolate food and drink and utensils, John stumbled away from the cafeteria and out to the playground. So let's think about how you think John might be feeling right now. What do you think he should do? How is he going to solve this problem? And like a lot of fiction stories, there's a problem in the middle, and I think we're at the problem right now. He doesn't seem very happy about his new magic. He's not feeling very good about it. He's very fearful. Even his scalp was hurting. How is he going to solve this problem? I can't wait to read on. Chapter 8 has a trumpet and some music. Maybe after lunch and recess, it's going to be music class. We'll have to read and find out. All right, till next time. Thanks, friends.